What's going on? This is Kareem from DJBooth.net, and I'm here in the lab to give you guys a really quick rundown video review of the brand new Numark Scratch Serato DJ 2-channel mixer. So it's been a while since Numark came out with a new DJ mixer. They used to make cool scratch mixers back in the day, the DXM Pro and the SMX, and they had a whole lot of other cool 2-channel scratch mixers, but this new one that they have comes in at an excellent price point of only $4.99, and it comes bundled and is compatible with Serato DJ Pro. So all you have to do is to set this up is just simply plug in a USB. It will work with most of your computers without using any other drivers, but sometimes you have to go to the website and download your Windows drivers if you need it. Go to Serato's DJ's website, download the latest Serato DJ Pro, and it'll just instantly work with it. You don't have to enter in any licenses or anything like that. It will just start working right away. You do, however, need to supply your own timecode vinyl, as they do not come with any Serato timecode vinyl where you're using this with your turntable decks or with your CD decks using timecode CDs. You'll have to get those on your own. So that's one of my minor gripes with the unit. I wish they would have kind of bundled it in there, but at the $4.99 price point, it's kind of hard to argue with that choice. So overall, you have a really nice design. It's nice and compact. It is, however, very sturdy. It has a nice metal design all the way around, and it just feels like it's definitely built to last. On the back, you have all of your inputs and outputs, except for your two headphone jacks that are on the front. You have the 1/4 inch and the mini, and on the back, you have your master XLR. You also have your USB port. Then you have your master and booth RCAs, and you do have a separate master and booth gain knob on the top face panel of the mixer. And you also have your channel 1 and channel 2 RCA pair with a ground post, and you can switch either one of those between line and phono mode. And you also have a microphone as well. Right here on the front, you have your Innofader scratch fader. Very, very good fader. Everybody's used these before, and by now you know that they're very buttery smooth. And you can also open this thing up and change the cut-in distance, but the factory cut-in distance is so small that I think it's going to be perfect for most DJ users right out of the box. You have in between that the slope controls. It is a quick press, so you can either go to a fade or all the way to a sharp cut really quickly. You also have a crossfader reverse. You do not have a crossfader reverse that I can find for the line faders. The line faders are not Innofaders, but they do feel nice and smooth as well, and they're very, very fast, and they don't have much resistance to them. About the same resistance as an Innofader, but not quite as smooth as the Innofader, but really good faders nonetheless. You can adjust the curve of them, but I couldn't find anywhere to actually hamster them in any way. Next up from that, you have a shift button in the middle, so you can change to your different parameters that you need to on the mixer. You also have your cue buttons here that are above the faders, and those cue buttons are used so you can listen to different things in your headphones that the master output is not outputting currently. Next up from top of that, you have a pad mode button. On this pad mode button, you can use cues, samples, and rolls. You have 4 pads on each side. They are not RGB backlit pads, unfortunately, but that's okay here because the price point is so cheap. You also have the buttons that you can click. They have like a clicky noise to them when you do click them, but they're very, very responsive, and you can do dual finger drumming and still get all of your hits in as soon as you press these pads. The different pad modes again is hot cue, sample, and roll, so you can grab your 4 hot cues per deck. You also have the 4 samples per side, and then you can roll using the loop roll and changing your loop length by corresponding to what pad of the length of the loop you're trying to achieve. Next up is the loop control encoder knobs. That way you can press these in order to enact your loop, and you can move it to the left or to the right to grow or shrink your loop. And when you actually press shift and rotate these loop controls, you're actually changing the different tracks or different folders that you're in within Serato. So that way you can easily go in here and select your tracks and browse using the loop control. Next, you have your effects controls in the middle. You have your effects select. It's echo, delay, flanger, reverb, V-echo, and phaser by default. And you have these cool paddles that everybody loves. When you press them down monetarily, you get that really cool effect. And when you hold it upwards, that will keep the effect continuously acted upon the track for as long as you have it in that position. You have echo, delay, flanger, reverb, V-echo, and phaser by default, but I assume you can probably go into Serato DJ and you probably can mini map that on your own to be something else. It really only enacts the first effects per side when you're using the 2 different paddles, but that's okay because usually that's all you need when you're doing scratch type performances. Above the effects select, you also have effects wet and dry knob, so you can adjust the effect. And then you have your 3-band EQs, your gain at the top. You have a tone and mic control for the microphone all the way in the top left. You also have filter knobs for each one of your different channels. And then you also have your master and booth volume knobs in the middle, along with the LED strips in the middle so you can see exactly where you are in the volume of your mix. So in conclusion, the Numark Scratch DJ Mixer is an excellent purchase for anyone who's in the Serato DJ market that doesn't want to spend an arm and a leg on a mixer that already has the Serato DJ interface built in. It comes in at only $4.99. It has a really solid construction all around. It comes with the Innofader Mini. You also have your pads with your pad modes, so that means you have MIDI capability in the mixer. You also are allowed to browse through all your tracks using the supplied knobs for looping controls when you press the shift button. And you also have really cool effects paddles that only come in at upper range Serato DJ mixers. You also have a booth output on the back, which can be controlled by its separate volume knob. On the downside, you do not have any Serato control vinyl in the box. I really wish they threw that in there. That would have made the package a little more enticing, but still at that price point, you can't really complain too much about it. And my other gripe is that it doesn't have any other auxiliary inputs or any other inputs besides the 2 only inputs that you'll be using for either your CDJs or your turntables when you're using this with timecode. Other than that, again, excellent job by Numark because they have a really quality mixer here. It really feels like it's built to last. It's really well made. It has the paddles here, it has Serato DJ built in. It's not too much more you can ask for the price. So excellent review by the Numark Scratch. And for more on the review, you guys can head on over to www.djbooth.net/DJS. Make sure you guys hit the thumbs up if you like videos like this one. Make sure you always stay subscribed so that way you get the newest and coolest videos from djbooth.net. And as always, thanks for watching.